I can start. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today in this webinar. I am Paolo Catti, Executive Director of the AI-driven Business Models Executive Master in Business Administration at Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore in Milan. In English, it's Catholic University of the Sacred Heart, but being Italian, its name is Università Cattolica del Sacro Cuore, its original name. It's really a pleasure to welcome you to this, well, I think short, but I hope also inspiring webinar. Today, I want to start from the end of our previous webinar, where we stopped 3 weeks ago. So let me reintroduce you to our master, AI-driven business models. With my presentation and after my speech, you will get a quick preview of the contents and experiences you will find within the AIDBM master program. It's only a quick preview, just 1 hour and a half. So think of it as a teaser trailer of the master. Not yet the full movie. Not the full movie because we are presenting an executive, which means 1 year long, Master in Business Administration about AI, which is the result of a collaboration between Università Cattolica, the Microsoft AI Lab, and IBM. The master is also supported by the AI Business Transformation Hub, the research center of AI of Università Cattolica. We will better present you the AI Business Transformation Hub just during this webinar, so stay with us. Let's say stay tuned for more information about the AI Business Transformation Hub. As I just said, AI-driven business model master is a 12-month journey from January to December 2026, designed to prepare a new generation of business leaders, people who don't just use AI, but think, work, can manage their businesses and professional life with AI. The main goal of the master is simple and also powerful: to train leaders capable of integrating artificial intelligence into strategic and organizational decision-making, and to enable professionals who can drive AI-based transformation inside companies and institutions. So an institutional mission. The program is structured around 2 main paths: AI in strategy, where we explore how AI changes vision, leadership, and business design, and also AI in action, where we see how those ideas come to life in real use cases and industries. You could say it's the approach from thinking to doing, because good strategy without execution maybe could be just a good PowerPoint. So something that can be more concrete. As you can see, both paths are characterized by 2 streams, each made up of 6 modules. About AI in strategy, we have AI foundations and strategy and entrepreneurship. Those 2 modules provide the fundamentals of AI and the concrete help in understanding its impact on business processes. Then we have legal issues and regulations that explores laws and constraints in depth, while ethical consideration closes the loop by addressing the risk of an incorrect or unfair or unresponsible approach to AI. AI investment landscape focuses on AI from a financial point of view, and future trends in AI and business models offers a fast-forward vision of AI evolution and its business impacts. Regarding AI in action, sector-specific innovations and process transformation presents many concrete case studies and experiences. AI management focuses on on recruiting and on retaining talents. Then we have 2 streams dedicated to AI in marketing processes and AI in operations, for instance, in supply chain processes, in procurement, in Industry 5.0 paradigm for production, and so on. Then we have an engaging focus on AI and robotics. We'll also have a look at this during this webinar. Probably one of the most fascinating topics looking towards our near futures. Giving artificial intelligence, artificial hands, and so probably try to match artificial hands to an artificial brain. Finally, managing AI-driven organizational evolution deals with how to implement AI as a pervasive, long-lasting infrastructural innovation. Well, this is not enough because we also have a new about the traditional master framework. One of the most innovative aspects of this master is also build your path model, which means that participants can actually customize their learning journey, choosing among different modules to design the path that best fits their goals and time. It's possible to pick up one module, 2, 3, 4, as in this example, or well, go for the full program. For example, you might choose 4 modules that perfectly fit your goal, and maybe it could be, as the example says, AI foundations to AI strategy, then AI and robotics, and the sector-specific innovation and transformation. And it's possible to have, in this way, a path that can cover all the AI interest of a specific professional. It's what we like to call a cherry-picking approach, because you take exactly what you need at your own pace, and you earn a certification for each module you complete. It's a very flexible purpose, I think, because we know executives are quite busy people. So instead of asking them to stop their lives to study, we have designed the master to fit into their professional life. Moreover, we can have a look at the timeline of the program. It starts on January, the 19th of January, 2026, with the kickoff week and the AI in strategy module. Then we move through spring and summer with the AI in action modules. The project work presentation takes place in November. Finally, in January 2027, we celebrate our graduation day. As you can see, the full executive MBA AI-driven business models is a one-year program, but it's designed to have a lifetime impact. Moreover, if you need only some modules of the path, as we said before, it's also possible to make your favorite selection, the cherry-picking approach. Well, at a glance, applications are now open. The deadline for submission is January the 8th, 2026. But for those who like to move fast, and well, okay, executives usually do, there's an early bird scholarship with a 25% discount for application received by the end of this month. It's the early bird. October 31st, 2025, it's the end of our early bird scholarship period. I'm also pleased to mention that the Fondazione Gasbarri offers us the full scholarship for professionals from the industry, finance and insurance. So if you're considering the journey, well, move fast, just like AI does. Be AI-driven, how can I say? You can also access selected modules individually through the Build Your Path, which is the cherry-picking of different modules option. Choose what fits your learning needs and earn certifications along the way. All details, including applications, forms, and contacts, are on our website, which is AIDBMmaster.et. Okay, so to wrap up, this master is not just about artificial intelligence. It's about human skills enhanced by AI. It's about learning to lead in a world where algorithms can do a lot, but humans can decide. And this is the issues of the responsibility that we faced before. During this webinar, you will hear from some of our faculty and experts, such as Professor Alessandro Baroncelli and Professor Alessandro Saffiotti, and also Professor Antonio Gatti. They will give you a quick taste preview of the contents you'll find in the AIDBM Executive MBA. And so I think I can leave the presentation to Alessandro. I thank you for all your attention. I leave to Alessandro and your presentation. Alessandro will touch a specific issue, the managerial competencies in the age of AI, which is a sequel of what you just treated in our previous webinar, Alessandro. You ended that path saying that it's crucial, the theme of the competencies. And now let's have a look at how and what competencies are crucial for AI introduction. So you have the word.
Thank you, Paolo. Let me share the screen.
It's arriving.
Hope everybody is able to see it.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But at least I can see it. You?
No, not yet.
Okay. Thank you, Alessandro.
Can you see it?
Not yet, Alessandro. Jan is trying to give you a hand.
Did you switch off your presentation?
Yes, I did.
Let me try to then upload it once again.
It's all about AI, not about video call.
Can you now?
We see it's white. Is your slide completely white? You think of being live?
I can try to upload again because otherwise you're losing time.
Okay. Okay.
Any better?
It seems to be. Can you try to go on with the slide? Let's have a
I'll
look.
try to upload it again.
No. I'm sorry for everyone, but this is not usual for us. This is our first time in having this kind of problem. So probably there's something wrong with the Teams. You can ask our partners of Microsoft, but they're not arrived yet. Well, maybe, probably I can ask Alessandro Saffiotti if you can make your presentation before Alessandro Baroncelli. We just make a change inside the scheduling, but probably we can also have a look at your presentation to see if it works.
Yeah, sure. So we also see if it
Let's
is a
try.
problem for everybody or.
Yeah. Okay, we can see your
You can
presentation.
see. Okay.
Yeah, I have a look at this.
Right.
It's not in consequence with our wonderful scheduling, but I think it could be a good idea if you go on with your presentation, and then when we are able to help Alessandro in this strange occurrence, we can show also its presentation too.
Perfect for me. Yes.
Go
absolutely.
on, Alessandro. Thank you very much.
Okay, and thanks, Paolo, for inviting me and introducing me. So, yes, I'm Alessandro Saffiotti, so I will be the teacher of this AI and robotics course or module. And maybe let me just spend 1 minute to tell you who I am, actually. Well, I don't want to go through all these. I just want to give you maybe 2 messages. The first message is simply that I'm basically based in Sweden, in Örebro, which is in the middle of Sweden, working in the Cognitive Robotic Systems Laboratory. And the other main message I want to give is that I've been active in AI and in robotics since some time now. So I've gone through a few AI summers and AI winters and hops and so on actually in this time. And I basically spent most of my research life in integrating cognition or using AI to think.
Sorry, Alessandro, there's been a problem. You can share your presentation again.
Oh, yes. I think there was something strange happening here.
Oh, I think Alessandro was making a proof. Thank you.
And you see it again. Okay, yeah. So basically I spend most of my research life trying to integrate cognition, so reasoning, with the physical sensing and action in the real world, as Paolo was saying before, maybe connecting an artificial brain to artificial eyes and artificial hands, so to speak. So let me get a pointer here. Yep. Okay, so the main question for this specific module is okay, how can we get an AI system to interact with the physical world, so to do action and perceive the world? How do AI systems normally do that? How do they normally interact with actual real physical world? Well, simple answer is they don't. Typical AI systems interact with humans in most cases, and maybe through the humans, they may get information about the world, or humans may perform actions on the world, which are a reflection of what the AI system has suggested or whatever. If you think of any sort of standard chatbot like ChatGPT, well, ChatGPT gets information about the real world by looking at input from humans. I mean, a description of our world written by millions of humans, which is also the reason why it hallucinates from time to time, not directly from information of the world. If you think of any sort of financial advisor system, typically may give advice or simply information about actions to take, but it will not take those actions directly in typical cases. If you think, I don't know, logistics support system, you may get information about the real world from the human user and may give suggestions about routing of vehicles and goods to the human, but will not physically go and move the vehicles and the goods. Well, what we want to see is, okay, how can we connect instead the AI system directly to the physical world using sensors to get information and using actuator to perform the actions? And there are, of course, a number of examples of that. The obvious example is just a standard robot or not so standard robot. Here is an example of a humanoid robot using sensors to get information about laundry and clothes and deciding how to actually fold those laundry and using the actuators to perform the actions which have been decided. But you can think of a more general view of what is a robot. An autonomous car, of course, is exactly the same thing. You may get information about the environment, the surrounding of the car, the road network and status, and use the reasoning to decide the route, to decide what to do, to perform actions which are implemented by the car actuators. In fact, you can even go to the logistic example.
Consegnano pacchi Amazon con droni.
Yes, exactly. This could be an example of using AI to actually control the routing of drones for delivery, for a fleet of delivery robots. So these are examples we're going to consider. We also try to go a little bit beyond that. We're also considering cases where the AI system may be interacting with the world, but also with humans which are operating in the same shared environment. A typical example can be elderly assistants. When the robot and the human are both in the same shared environment, they have the same perception and they act on the same objects.
Ragazzi, ma si è fatto insieme il computer? Cioè, io mi aspettavo fosse così.
Yep. A bit, Tommaso, your microphone is on. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, Tommaso, maybe you had better to deactivate the microphone. Yeah, okay, I
didn't notice. Yeah. Something which is very fashionable today is they talk about cobots, so industrial robots in manufacturing that are not isolated in their own cell, but they're actually collaborating with humans, working together with humans. Again, human and robot sharing the same environment and doing perception and actions together. Or something like a smart home, where you can see that as a robotic system as well, with sensors, with actuators, with human inside, where actually you need to use intelligence to decide what to do given the situation, given the desire of the human, given the perception of the different sensors in the home. So that's the type of problems or the type of application scenario we're going to address. And how we're going to do that? Well, we go through a few steps in the course. We start by discussing the opportunities of AI. So what can AI add to a standard automation system or factory floor automation or other type of things? So we'll try to see what is the added value of putting AI on top of robotic or physical system. In short, it will be to get the system more up in the level of autonomy and up in the level of difference of task that can be addressed. We will then, we will then actually start to think a little bit about, is it easy or difficult? And the interesting thing that we're going to discover here is that, well, if you have a factory and you want to automate it and to put an AI on top of that, it's not enough to just connect your robots to ChatGPT or whatever. Or the other way around, if you have an AI system and you want to bypass the human actuator and to actually do directly actions in the real world and get data from the real world, well, you cannot just simply say, okay, we'll attach a sensor to that. Situation is much more difficult. There are a lot of methods from robotics that have to do with sensing, with actuation. There are a lot of methods from AI that have to do with reasoning. But connecting the two, we're going to see, is more than just a software integration problem. There are conceptual difficulties that we're going to discuss. So it's not enough to basically hire two experts in the two separate domains and hope that they will be able to talk to each other. It will be more challenging. To discuss that, we actually go through a few case studies. So here is where we'll get a little bit our hands dirty into a few technical details. And that's because if you want really to decide how to make your choices about using AI or not, and what AI and how, you need to understand some of the technical details, some of the technical possibilities, and some of the technical difficulties that underlie those possibilities. So this will be a little, probably the main part of the course, where we go into some technical detail through also a few examples. We go through an example about logistic in a warehouse, an existing one. We go through example about a robot to be used by the space agency. We go through even an example of collaboration between humans and robots in the particular domain of artistic co-creation, where human musicians and robotic dancers can collaborate using AI to coordinate between them. So this will help us to understand what we can do if we connect AI to the physical world and what are the difficulties to do that. Then, as Paolo said, there are, of course, very big ethical challenges connected with AI in general, and even more if AI will be able to act on the physical world. So we're going to discuss those, starting from the European Commission AI Act and seeing what are the implications when it comes to AI systems that are also directly connected to the physical world. And we'll discuss a little bit of the research frontier in this particular topic. What is hot? What do we expect from the next few years? How do you expect the field to move in the near future? So that's what we're going to discuss in this course. You're very welcome to attend it and very welcome to contact me if you want to ask or to discuss anything before that.
Very interesting, Alessandro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we can try to give the word to Alessandro Baroncelli. I have the presentation, Alessandro, and so if you want, I can share the presentation directly. Just 1 second. Okay. Let me see if you can see. Maybe yes.
Yes.
And I give to Alessandro the PC.
Okay, thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for these inconveniences. I was trying to share the screen from my machine, but it didn't work, unfortunately. So let me just introduce shortly. I'm the director of a Center of Research in International Management at Università Cattolica. I'm part of the faculty of the Master AI-Driven Business Models, and I try to create a new lab within the Center of Research and International Management, which is called AI Business Transformation Hub. Enrico Giubertoni is the director of this hub, and he will talk more about the lab itself. This presentation is about a report that was carried out by myself and a colleague who's Serge Vandemini, former professor at Paris Assas and member of the AI Business Transformation Hub. What we tried to do was a further step on what we actually mentioned last time when we carried out the previous webinar. The point was, in our view, what makes really the difference in ensuring a competitive advantage for those who are implementing artificial intelligence, modifying their business model, transforming their processes and procedure is knowledge, is the capability of taking full advantage of these transformation, and these transformation are, in our view, irreversible. we are facing a period of volatility as far as the global economy is concerned. Every couple of hours, we may check our smartphones and computer to see if something relevant happened. It wasn't the case a few years ago, but any time we could have something which is going to alter the competitive scenario. Certainly, AI, it's something that is going to be with us for the future, and in our view is going to affect the capability of firms to survive in some case, or to earn an advantage on competitors. It's a dramatic opportunity to generate returns and avoid the dangers on sustainability, which is something that we are fearing in these very fast-changing environment. This situation will be better handled provided we are able to prepare a new generation of leaders having an intentional mindset and a capability to introduce all the changes that we can expect from artificial intelligence. Alessandro Saffiotti, from his observatory in Sweden, is one of the most relevant expert about robotics, and he just gave a snapshot on what we may attend as far as robotics is concerned, but any activity of the firm are likely to be affected by the transformation led by artificial intelligence. Therefore, we think that there will be a huge impact on organization, on the employment, but even more on the nature of the skills which are required to go on as far as the transformation led by artificial intelligence are concerned. So we really need to have a continuously redesign type of organization which are likely to support the transformation of AI. We actually work on a report over the summer period, and those who are interested are mostly welcome to download it at the internet site. You can see there. We will make available the presentation afterwards, so you have the time to access that whenever you want. As I said, that was a work carried out with Serge Vendemini, and what we basically did was having a look at to what happened in the last 40 years as far as technological transformation took place, and we tried to compare the main impacts we had in the past as far as employment and knowledge and skills, and those we may expect from now on with a 10-year time perspective as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. We call that the age of artificial intelligence. We are considering that artificial intelligence is not going to replace managers. On the contrary, we expect to have a sort of boost on the need of new competencies. We may talk about augmented abilities of managers and the need of redefine their roles and skills. Over the last 40 years, we observe a dramatic shift from manufacturing in agriculture, certainly, but also in manufacturing industry into services, and that has already determined a need of adaptation in terms of competencies. We expect that activities such as the managerial and the intellectual profession will be highly affected by the transformation of the AI. We move from automation to augmentation. We lived already the season of the Industry 4.0 or Internet of Things. So we're the way you can mention that, it's really the join of digital technology to the manufacturing environment, addressing the opportunity to share data and manage activities based on the interconnection between machines and operators. In case of automation, labor is often replaced. In case of AI, we think that managerial positions are likely to be reinforced, transformed, augmented by artificial intelligence. We expect a new manager that will shift from an information processor, which towards the season of the Internet of Things, to a meaning generator. The evidence we had from the research we carried out, there is a source of the references available in the report that you can access, show that every percentage point of AI adoption will determine an effect on need of new competencies. We expect an increase of 2.5% to 7.5% in vacant managerial positions. There will be, of course, a different need of knowledge, and we expect an impact on 4 major managerial functions. Control and performance will require people who can become strategic business partner, able to interpret AI results. Talking about organization and strategy, the goal is to focus on talent management, culture, and leadership, which is well prepared to adopt those transformations and implement all the changes which are underlying the introduction of the AI. As far as compliance and risks, we expect capability to focus on interpretation, negotiation, and ethical judgment. And as far as operational steering is concerned, we expect capability in supervising intelligence systems and handles exceptions. When technology becomes a commodity, and that was basically one of the topics we discussed in the previous webinar, the human element make the difference. We actually adopt, consider a framework introduced by the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is suggesting 5 key skills across what they call the epoch framework, which includes the need of further empathy, presence, opinion, creativity, and hope, which are modifying the profile of the managers who are relevant as far as AI is concerned. One new position is likely to become critical as far as the transformation of AI is concerned. I'm referring to the Chief AI Officer. His main mission will be define and lead the AI strategy and create sustainable competitive advantage. There will be key responsibility across the need of developing a roadmap of the introduction of AI, making sure there will be a capability to monitor these changes in terms of the ethics, compliance, security. It would be the person able to introduce the AI first culture within organization and make sure there will be relevant resources to support this transformation, as well as measuring the impact in terms of returns of those investments. Of course, the skills required to carry on these tasks will include aspect in strategy, technical capability, leadership, and governance. There will be performance indicator of the chief AI officer work based on the return on AI investment, the capability of monitor the adoption rate of AI tools by employees, and the capability of introducing KPIs on productivity and satisfaction in processes led by artificial intelligence. So from now on, we actually try to collect what were the views of those who were carrying out field research on the impact of AI on employability, on employment, and on knowledge. And what seemed to appear is the fact that we can expect a salary premium for those who are able to manage satisfactorily AI and basically are able to act having a good management capability as far as technical skill, cognitive skills, and human skills are concerned. Of course, I cannot get into many details about the report. I welcome you to download it, and I'm more than happy to have some exchange with you whenever you are interested to have further information on that. Let me try to draw what will be the transformation that the evolution of the managerial role are concerned. We will move entering the AI era from a period of data analysis, which was the one of, say, Internet of Things, into the one of AI-powered steering, where management is applying many indicators which need to be new, since models and procedure will change. There will be a shift from project management to project orchestration by the coming 10 years. We expect AI to optimize planning, removing obstacle on implementation, motivating skill, helping to manage stakeholders. There will be a shift towards augmented decision-making, where decisions are better supported, can be taken in a faster way, should be inspired by ethical awareness, and will enjoy a larger contextual understanding. I was beginning this presentation talking about the period of fluctuation we are experiencing right now. This is probably going to stay with us and possibly becoming even more complicated in the years to come. So having the capability to contextualize our decision with many different settings may turn to be critical to take good decisions. And finally, recruitment should be transformed into talent management understanding. As a matter of fact, we have a dedicated module on those issues, and certainly the HR activity are likely to be strongly affected by the implementation of AI. What about strategic recommendation? Before I complete the presentation, we tried to figure out two scenarios. One, referring to companies. So how could they build the AI ready organization? First of all, developing AI first leadership. We mentioned the role of the new AI chief manager. Being able to foster a collaboration culture, which also imply sharing an understanding of these new technologies, being able to speak the same language across the organization. It's a matter of fact, it's a top-down transformation, which, however, needs to be fed by talent development. What about decision makers? All Western economies are now facing a tough period. There are emerging economies, what we call fast-growing countries, who are now taking the lead of economies. Certainly, Asia and Southeast Asia will be the regions where most of the growth will be carried out. Technological leadership is still a matter of dispute between China and US, but the rest of the world need to grow, adapting the educational system, introducing a program of AI literacy, supporting continuous training. We try to make our part in that play with the program we have designed and the specific modules we are offering. We need to fight, avoid what in the past was called digital divide. Now we may call it competence divide to support innovation, in particular in less favorable environments. And finally, promote ethical AI. These are the feature we would like to suggest. We refer here to the European environment. Europe has recently introduced an AI Act, which is particularly focusing on regulation, but on ethical issues as well. So thanks for being with me today, and I pass over the word to the following speaker. I think Paolo will take the lead now.
Thank you very much, Alessandro. And I leave the word to Enrico Giubertoni. We talk about the AI Business Transformation Hub, which is an initiative by Università Cattolica. And so let's better understand what this AI Business Transformation Hub is. And so, Enrico, it's your time.
Thank you so much, Paolo, and thank you for being here. Well, let's start my presentation. Just a moment, please. I share my screen, hoping that everything will be okay. Okay, just a moment, please. Just a moment. Okay. Okay. You hear me? And you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we can see.
See and hear.
Yes, both of us.
That's great. That's great. Okay, now you see the presentation.
It's coming.
Okay. It's coming.
It's coming, but it's not coming.
And before, like this?
We can have a look at this in this way. You can try to share the
okay, just a moment, please. Just a moment.
Screen.
Just
Yes.
a little moment. So I will hurry in a very short time. I see if it is possible to see a little bit better, and then I will start. Just a moment. Okay.
We made interesting experiences during this webinar.
Yeah. Thrilling experience.
One more.
Okay. Maybe like this. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. Let's see if in this way it is possible.
It seems to work.
It seems to work. That's great. Okay.
Let's have a look at the full screen if possible.
Okay, like this.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay,
It works.
now let's iconize this. Okay. My name is Enrico Giobertoni. I'm a digital marketing advisor, author, and a keynote speaker. But today I have the honor to speak, to talk with you, and as a AI Business Hub Transformation Hub director. And what is the AI Business Transformation Hub? Is a think tank about how AI will shape the future of business and how we should use the AI in a responsible way. Well, the AI Business Transformation Hub was born and was generated with a precise approach. And which is the approach in designing the AI Business Transformation Hub? We adopted three core principles. The first one is identifying the core challenges. This means identifying manifest needs while simultaneously seeding the latent ones. And in the following slide, we will understand what is the role of the latent needs and why we have to seeding this and showing this and making them manifest needs. And so to design, the second principle is to design a problem-centric architecture. This means architecting our hub around the core challenges, not just a portfolio of singular services. And the third one is bridging theoretical and core aspects in actionable ones. This means translating academic rigor into actionable business strategy. Okay, let's identify the core challenges at the base of our AI Business Transformation Hub, of our think tank. Well, we perform some data-driven analysis with algorithmic tools and about what was the conversation, the documents, the data, the ideas shared on the internet about AI. And there were lots of thematic aspects, lots of topics about AI. And in some way, we had some hints, some important hints in the speakers before me. But what was the latent need that emerged? Well, there was a keyword which was Gen AI divide, and if you see, I put generative, which is the acronym of generative, in brackets, because this was part of the problem. The problem was and is, of course, the AI divide, which is present in our speech, in the conversation of the internet in various ways. One way is the FOMO, fear of missing out, the risk of being left behind. We are afraid to adopt the AI. What are the risks of this delay? the risk of navigating the hype and not a real strategic value. What Professor Alessandro Baroncelli talked about, the ROI of AI, and the risk of and the challenge of embedding AI into corporate culture and also, of course, processes. These were the core challenges. These are the core challenges inside the word AI divide. What could we do? How can our think tank can give an answer? Our goal was not to make a tool, but to make a real mindset in our, and so to conceive, to design our think tank to give a mindset, to give answers, to give actionable and theoretical and actionable insights. And so with this proactive listening of a conversation, data trends, identify the latent pain points, the AI divide, we designed a purpose-built ecosystem. And this hub should be a structured response to these core challenges. This is our hub. This is our AI business transformation hub. But there was and there is a question that it is so important. How could we make our approach available to the international community, available on the internet? And so we designed our website on 3 strategic sections. The first one is events, and this is our second events of the hub. In events, we uncover and define the needs, making latent needs manifest through expert dissemination. The second one is insight, developing a strategic frameworks, offering so, in this way, academic insights and models to manage complexity. And the third one, of course, we are a think tank, is collaboration. So, co-create solution, facilitating collaboration between the research world, the professional world, and the corporation world. And so, how we shaped our website? But the first one is the section events, in which you can participate and attend to events. This is our events, which we are attending now. And this function is to give an answer to the needs. And the answer is disseminating and sharing knowledge, making latest needs, the needs that we don't know we should have, manifest ones through experts' dissemination. The second tool is the second mindset, of course, more than tool, sorry. The second mindset is insights, our core think tank, which is a dual action engine, academic insights and models to manage complexity. Here we have a report written by Professor Baroncelli, How Will AI Reshape Employment? And this report is freely downloadable from our website. Don't worry, at the end of the speech, I will put the address, the URL, so you can download it. And instead of publishing tons of materials, we prefer to have a monthly publication to stimulate the critical thinking about strategic AI. And the third and the last section is join and collaborate. Our AI Business Transformation Hub is for action, is for a think tank to give actionable insights, following theoretical key concepts. And so who can join and collaborate our AI Business Transformation Hub? Of course, corporation, to foster cross-departmental AI thinking. Of course, professionals with master programs and education to lead the transformation, and of course for researchers, a community in order to create, to foster a community to collaborate on publication and share insights. So this, the outcome, which is the outcome, is putting from tool to mindset into practice by 3 core activities, which you can be part joining our hub, and of course following our website. And the 3 activities are listening, dissemination, and collaboration. So at the end of our speech, I will say, join us. This is our address if you are on the internet. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Enrico. Thank you very much. So you told us about the initiative of the AI Business Transformation Hub. And before your intervention, both Alessandro Baroncelli and Alessandro Saffiotti told us about the importance of knowing the value of AI. And well, now I can give the word to Professor Antonio Gatti, which told us about, well, its title is From Innovation to Execution, Driving Tangible AI Value. So Antonio told us how it's possible to measure value from AI.
Thank you. Thank you, Paolo. I mean, it's not the most easy task for me, but let me first try to share my screen.
Quite challenging.
Hopefully could be okay. I hope
We
everybody
see?
can see and everybody can see in
Yes,
full
exactly.
screen. Perfect. So thank you, Paolo. As said, I'm Antonio Gatti. I'm part of the Microsoft organization. I work specifically on pharma, life science, and medtech across EMEA, and also with some other worldwide customer. And I'm not an expert of AI. I'm a practitioner of AI. I like to call myself a practitioner of AI. And that is basically creating tangible value is the key point, especially at this moment in which we are at the dawn of AI, you know, and especially at the dawn of AI in business. So we really value a lot initiatives like the Business Transformation Hub, for example, because I mean that kind of initiative is exactly the initiative that is trying to bridging the need from a business perspective to some material that can create a recipe for, let's say, the execution of an AI transformation. And the fact that it's everything focused on business transformation rather than technology transformation is exactly, let's say, the most important part of our conversation. Now, I have very few slides for today. I would like really, let's say, to give you some data points and discuss with you some data points. And I would like, let's say, also to get some questions from you, because I mean, potentially you will have your point of view and your opinion on this coming from your profession, coming, let's say, also from your personal life, of course. So let me start from research, which was done by McKinsey on how the organizations are kind of transforming themselves. Rewiring was the verb that they used to capture value. There are many data points in this slide, and all the data points we're going, let's say, to summarize in the next one. But I would like to go through this in order, let's say, to give our point of view and how basically then, let's say, some structured initiatives like learning initiatives, like the Business Transformation Hub, like your daily work on adopting AI could effectively contribute to the rewiring and transformation of the companies you're working for. So let's start from the most obvious thing. When everybody started to talk about generative AI when ChatGPT kicked in 2023. Then, of course, everybody from the tech, from the consulting world, and the companies themselves started, let's say, to think about, hey, let's establish a dedicated team that is able, let's say, to drive this Gen AI adoption into the organization. I mean, this is something that was kind of the easy thing to do, the no regrets move, for organizations that are kind of big organizations, so medium and big organizations, so with more than $500 million in annual revenue, was less, let's say, an option for smaller organization. And if we look, let's say, at a country like Italy, of course, we know that smaller organizations are a lot in our economical landscape. So this was the first thing, and again, was a no-regret move, establishing a kind of a PMO office, an adoption office. Let's starting to kind of try and experiment with artificial intelligence. Then, those that are practitioner of change management systems and the frameworks knows that it's very good, let's say, to test something, but if you don't have awareness, if you don't create awareness and desire, of course, in the extended user base, it's basically impossible to go into a real adoption. So who are those that are going and having regular internal communications about the value created by this solution? This is something that we saw a lot from a Microsoft perspective. For example, when we ran our own adoption of Microsoft Copilot, we were basically tested and we were looking, let's say, at the value that was generated for us. But also, let's say, for the smaller organization, there was a kind of a very specific action from this point of view, even more than, let's say, doing things. So it was more on talking and telling the value of artificial intelligence rather than doing and having a dedicated team from that point of view. Then you can see that the percentage goes, let's say, decreasing, while we move on. And so when we go into the engagement from the C-level, from the senior leaders of the company, not only in, let's say, being at a conference and being aware of course what Gen AI, what artificial intelligence is bringing, but also, let's say, on becoming a role model for the adoption. So having the so-called AI CEO, having people that are able, let's say, senior leaders that are able to show how to use artificial intelligence in the company. Well, this is something that many organizations are doing, 37%, as you can see here on the big organizations, but it's not something for which you can say that there is the majority of the leaders. No, most of the leaders are doing. It's not something like that. So we're still going into a niche from this point of view. When you do this, the next one is once you are a role model, you know that you can, let's say, go and become a role model without the purpose, with the specific training, so the training done on purpose from that point of view. So, I mean, the organizations creating this kind of programs are only 31% overall the respondent of this survey. So, I mean, and here we are coming, let's say, to a very tricky point. We need to have people that are skilled to use artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence is not a tool in the end. It's like interacting with another colleague in the organization. So it's important, which is not, let's say, a natural colleague. Is not the typical colleague, of course. Is a very peculiar colleague with a very peculiar way of interacting with. So this is why, it's important, let's say, to have this kind of training courses and specific, let's say, upskilling and training for employees. But yet, you can see that organizations are always going, let's say, less on this kind of thing. Then, even worse than that, if you look at who is really thinking of embedding the generative AI solution into business processes, this is something that, in the end, is not is happening, of course, but is happening in very few organizations out of the survey base from this point of view. Why? Because, I mean, it's not easy in the end to say, let's redesign a process workflow, for example. No, it's more easy to say, let's eventually test that specific scenario, which potentially will give us 2%, 3% in efficiency improvement on a particular task, rather, and we can say that we got some value. But the reality is that, no, that is a fake value in the end, and is not a long-term sustained value that we are looking for through the AI transformation as of today. So you can see, you can go still on less companies has a clearly defined roadmap. So very good, let's say, to start with the pilot and POC and understand how to experiment. But when it's time, let's say, to connect the business process to the roadmap of the solutions you want to deploy, less companies are going through this. And let me now go into a very specific one. Let's say there are very few companies, only 24% of the panel here, that for the big organization I'm talking, that have a feedback loop mechanism. The feedback loop mechanism is a very important mechanism for every company as of today, is getting the feedback from the users, from the adopters, of what's wrong, what's good, and how to improve basically the solution. This is also true for the AI solutions. This is also true for what we call the virtual colleague, as we said before. We need, let's say, to give feedback. We need to get feedback, and this is something that requires a very precise and specific mechanism. If you don't have this kind of mechanism, no, I mean, you are basically not looking at the problem, if there is a problem, or at the value, wherever there is a value at that point. So going more into our things, if you go here and we see that, for example, less companies has track well-defined KPI for GenAI solutions, which is another problem. I mean, how do you measure something for which you don't have metrics? So many companies are joining the AI transformation without having, let's say, basically defined KPIs, and so defined metrics in order to track basically the value out of that. And then the last but very important part is the establishment of employee incentives that enforce GenAI adoption. Now, this is there's a big debate on this point, and it's one of the key points as well. I mean, we are all our employees, or in our, let's say, professional lives, of course, and we all got basically, this concept of being incentivized also at work, of being using, let's say, tools and system. Now, let me say also that if you take the digital touch points as of today, the people are typically ahead of the companies they're working for. The people in using digital technologies, of course. So the type of technology that is given from the companies, it's not the same type of technology in terms of speed, in terms of easiness of use, in terms of reactivity that you are using in your professional life, in your personal life, for example. Okay, so in our personal life, we are used, let's say, to work with doing things in a quick way, using, let's say, as much as possible all the systems and all the digital touch points to which we are exposed. Because of regulation, because of old systems, because of different things, let's say, that we have in the organizations, is not always like that. So we are not, let's say, self-incentivized on using those kind of technology, because, I mean, it's not the same technology we are used in our personal life. At the same time, no, there's not even a framework that establish employee incentives to reinforce GenAI adoption. So I'd like to get your question, and I'd like to get some of your opinion on this, of course, before summarizing the overall thing. But it's clear that there is this tendency at the moment of companies on starting the artificial intelligence journey as much as possible, and then moving, let's say, from this POC moment, pilot moment, into a not structured way of adopting generative AI and artificial intelligence in the business processes. So if we go and we give, let's say, summarize basically, what's the point? What we should say is that, as we said, most orgs are still experimenting. And it's good to experiment. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to experiment, because I mean, we are talking of something which is relatively new from a mass market adoption, a mass market perspective. But the point is that we are burning budget. There are companies burning budgets basically on the POCs without no system design, no feedback loops, no KPIs, as we said before. The point here, it's very important. Again, if we look at the previous technological, let's say, innovation, it was good, let's say, to have a good experimental phase, a very important experimental phase, many times. But this kind of innovation is not a technology innovation, is a mindset shift, is a mindset innovation. It requires us, as Professor Baroncelli said before, to think of a new way of recruiting not only people, but also agents, artificial intelligence agents, which will work together with the people in a mixed organization made by humans and AI agents. So it's not something for which you can go and do a POC of how to hire agents. It's something for which you need to establish an hiring plan, which has completely different things that you should put in place. And this is exactly where we want to go and what we want to do with all the initiatives like the Master, the Business Transformation Hub, and the activities we are doing. Now, if we go, let's say, and we summarize the statistics say that 80% of the companies now use AI, but about 1% are doing a great job. And that 1% is doing a great job because of these 5 things. So they take ownership of the process and not the model. It's not about using a Copilot or using ChatGPT or using, let's say, Perplexity or using another tool. It's really the point of taking ownership of the process that will use the model. So the companies that are thriving at the moment are identifying really the top 10 workflow by cost and time and redesign this workflow by using AI. Completely design the workflow, not going into a 2%, 3% efficiency improvement in one single part of the workflow. If you want, let's say, to remodel something and to change completely, redesign completely something, you need to be sure that you have a measurement framework. We said it already. It's important, let's say, to use as much as possible, for example, rework percentages as key KPIs. And rework is an important thing because, I mean, it's not deterministic. So, I mean, you are going to do things, potentially fail, and try again until you go and you find basically the perfect balance for your organization. Everything must be governed, and everything must be governed through an AI PMO, potentially, okay? But it's not, let's say, that kind of small project management office which sits in a small part of the company or sits in the IT or sits in the digital. This is something that needs, let's say, to include operations, risk management, security, finance, with product owners coming from all of these part of the companies in order to really, let's say, transform and understand which solutions are impacting then the ROI and the measurement we said before. It's a matter of focus on the behavior and so on the upskilling, retraining, teaching prompt patterns, dealing with new jobs in the organization, which are more focused on the innovative thinking, for example, from the humans, rather than the AI literacy that will come from the agents and from the artificial intelligence tools from this point of view. But it's really on the behavior, it's a behavioral change, for example, in how to interact with a virtual team of agents that works with you on the daily, with you and the humans on the daily task. And last but not least, which is super important, of course, is the finances and governance. So all of this is like basically it's a strategic plan. It's the execution of a strategic plan. It's not, again, something for which you are adopting that specific solution. So it requires basically also the involvement of all the area, from CFO to legal to the CISO and so on, in order, let's say, to check the use, evaluate, roll back actions if needed. So having a clear governance, which is not the AI PMO, is a really enterprise governance, is a real enterprise governance from, let's say, from the C-level, from the senior leaders. So Having said that, and looking now, let's say, forward to your question before closing our webinar today, we can absolutely say that the value of AI comes not from the model itself, as we said. This is not, the important thing. We had a lot of models from the past. We will have a lot of models in the future. There will be always a lot of models that will come. You will have a lot of offering from the tech company like Microsoft, like Google, like AWS, and so on. You will see OpenAI, let's say, thriving with other models. It's not the point. The point is the willingness of the organization to transform and effectively leverage the model through a complete redesign of the most impactful workflow to start, and in the end of the company itself. So happy to take any question from this point of view, and I'm glad I was able to stay on the time. I mean, given that we are close to the
Yes.
finish line.
Yes,
And
completely, Antonio,
Paolo,
completely.
yeah, Paolo, back to you.
Thank you very much, Antonio. Very interesting. I also totally agree with you. It's important to have a strategy. We have one question in the chat. We have also the DNR space if you want to share with us some question. Let me have a look. Okay, it's a question for you, Antonio. Do you think that the training effort to train and use and AI agents could affect also the adoption of AI?
Well, it will in some way. It will, and I mean, the training effort is not just, let's say, launching a new course or launching a specific training within the company on AI. Is really, let's say, taking care of the upskilling of a part of your organization, for example. We want to adopt AI in the operation, for example. We know that the people needs to go through upskilling, which is not just training on AI, but is upskilling on the process, basically. So it could affect the adoption of AI as much as this training is not effective, but is exactly the same thing when you are in a manufacturing company, for example, and you introduce a new manufacturing system or a new manufacturing, let's say, methodology. And if you are not effective on introducing the manufacturing methodology, you will not see basically the expected results, the expected outcomes from the methodology. So again, it's not a training per se on the AI technology, on using. Also because, I mean, if you take the people, the individuals, and you ask them, are you confident and comfortable with AI systems? Probably they're using ChatGPT, probably they're using AI on many things. So they know also how to interact in their personal life. In the work life is a different story, of course, in terms of the prompt, in terms of the way in which you speak, in when we collaborate with AI, and that is something that in the end, is the key part of the training. So yes, it could affect the adoption as far as it's not an effective, let's say, training effort. Exactly like all the other historical training and changes that we experienced in our companies.
Yes, the test itself can affect the result. Yes. Well, I don't know if there are other questions. I thank you all, Antonio, and also Alessandro Saffiotti, and also Enrico Giubertoni, and also Alessandro Baroncelli for being our speaker in this meeting. I suggest all you interested in the master to go quickly to make your application, because you can also use the early adoption. There is another, I think, last question, but I'll take it. It's also this one is for you, Antonio. Mr. Gatti, I'm currently the PM of a ERP implementation project in my company. Do you think that any AI rewriting of the company?
Do you think that
an
AI
rewriting of the company? Okay, it's not completed the question. Okay, or now it is. Together with, Do you think that an AI rewriting of the company together with this ERP project could be too much for our employees?
Well, it really depends on which metrics you established, no, and which is the outcome. Again, we are talking always of a business initiative, so I'm pretty sure that your ERP implementation project has some outcomes that you expect, let's say, to have. Is an improvement, is a movement from one ERP to another ERP, etc. So it's pretty sure that no, of course, there are some outcomes connected to that. I can't say that if it's too much or too little in the end for the employees from that point of view. It's true that an ERP, for example, is a beautiful, let's say, place where to start for an AI conversation, AI transformation from that point of view, and that is something that potentially, let's say, could bring definitely some value if applied within the concept that we said before.
Thank you, Antonio. I hope, Georg, it was the answer. Great. Okay, it was the answer I was expecting. Okay. Very well. We finished our time. We just had an interesting webinar. You met also only a small part of the faculty of AI-driven business model master. I suggest you to go to the website www.aidbmmaster.it and meet also the other components of the faculty. I think it will be an interesting journey about AI and about management of AI to create value. Thank you, everyone of us, of you, and have a look. We'll have a look in the next webinar. Stay tuned on our channel, and you will learn when we will organize a next meeting. Thank you very much, Antonio, Alessandro Safiotti, Alessandro Baroncelli, and Enrico Giubertoni for being our speaker today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you.
See you, Laurent.
Your point of view on